Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new then welcome. My name is Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. And today we are doing a haul video of everything that I picked up during the Sephora Sales Event. The sale is still going on currently, but I have cut myself off. I am not allowed to purchase anything else. Well, actually I have one more thing in mind, but that's for a later day. At this point, I'm not proud of it. I don't need any of this to survive, but I need it. You know what I mean? It is a shopping addiction. It is bad. I do not recommend that anyone purchase as much makeup as I do because it's just, why? It's excessive, and it's probably going to be a conversation with my therapist later. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about everything I purchased. There are some things that I have recommended to you guys that I was planning on restocking, and there are also things that I wanted to pick up and try out for the first time, and I did try out a good chunk of the things that I purchased, and as I'm talking about them, I will insert some clips of me using them so you can kind of see how they apply on me. Alright, so first things first, something that is not beauty makeup related. It's something that I recommended to you guys in my kit recommendation video. This is the Touchland sanitizing spray kit. It comes with 5 hand sanitizers. I love these. These are my go-to hand sanitizers. I have so many of them lying around all over the place. My husband and I use these constantly. You only get a $5 savings with the kit if you were to purchase it regular price. However, I am a VIB Rouge, so everything that I purchased today I got 20% off. Plus, if you use Rakuten, which by the way, do you guys know what Rakuten is? It's a cashback service. You can add it to your Chrome browser and essentially you get cash back on specific purchases on different stores. This is not sponsored, but I've been using Rakuten for a good chunk of a decade, I want to say. Yeah, if you use something like Rakuten or maybe like Hanni, you get cash back. So that's a little something. That's a little something extra on top of the sales event discount. Just wanted to let you guys know that. But anyways, now that I'm done ranting about that, purchase this. Really excited to dig into these, and it's nice to just always have these on hand. On hand, huh? No pun intended. Next, another restock for me, the Topicals Slather. This is going to be my second tube now. It is their chemical exfoliant body serum, and I love this because it's a serum inside of a lotion, and it's very, very thin, but it's still really nice and hydrating, so I can completely skip the lotion and just do this. I usually use this at nighttime, and the next morning my skin feels baby smooth. It's incredible. I love this so much, and I plan on continuing to repurchase this, but this should last me up until the next sale, the spring sale. Next is a new product to me, but something that I've had my eye on for quite some time now. This is from Hanni. This is the Shave Pillow No Rinse Gel Stick. It's supposed to essentially be your shaving cream or mousse, the moisturizer for when you shave, and I plan on using this on my pits. I've seen videos on this. I like the packaging. It's this soft touch, and it's a really beautiful purpley maroon type of color here. It kind of smells like a candle to me, like some sort of soap, I'm really excited to see how this works for me. I've seen a couple of videos and it looks really promising, and I have used a couple of Hanni products already. They sent me their in-shower moisturizer, which I really like. I've been eyeing the body mist as well, but I wanted to do this one first because it just seems like it would kind of streamline shaving, and you guys may know I hate shaving. That's why I kind of started doing the at-home IPL treatments. I do still shave my armpits, and sometimes I have stragglers on my legs, so I think this will be good, a good change of pace. Hopefully, I will keep you guys updated on whether I like this or not. The next one is a restock, and it came in perfect time, honestly, because I just finished my very first bottle of this. This is the Tower 28 SOS Daily Rescue Facial Spray. When I first got this, I got it honestly because of the hype. I was just like, oh, it seems like a lot of people really like it. I don't have really bad redness on my skin, and I don't really have eczema or anything like that, but I thought, hey, I might as well try it because my skincare barrier was compromised. I was having a lot of breakouts and a lot of hormonal and adult acne flare-ups. It seems like you're just spraying water on your face. There's no added fragrance to it. It feels really lightweight. There's no slick feeling to it. Whenever I started using this, my skin calmed down so much, and now I can't go without using this. I use this morning and night after I cleanse my face, before I go in with all of my serums and everything. I still use an additional toner after this one. I don't really think it's necessary, but I really love toners and I have a lot of them, so I thought, why not just use it? It doesn't seem to compete with any of my skincare products, and for that I'm super grateful. I think that it really helps whenever I have any acne that's coming up, you know, and I also think that it's really nice to use with my acne medications, such as my salicylic acid products and my benzoyl peroxide products, because I think this kind of brings sort of a calmness when those products can be a little bit more irritating. A new skincare set that I'm excited to have, I meant to use this today, but I completely forgot. This is the Glow Recipe Smooth Skin Dreams set. It includes the Strawberry Smooth BHA plus AHA Salicylic Serum, as well as the Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops. The Blur Drops is a quite small container. However, I am not sure if I will like it, which is why the size of this is perfect for me. Usually when it comes to blurring, smoothing type of primers, the texture of it, I think of the Benefit Pore Primer, Porefecting Primer, and I don't like that texture, that really thick silicone feel. It works, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. It doesn't give me a really fun sensorial type of thing. I've heard that this is really nice even when you're not wearing makeup. So hopefully this works out for me, but I am quite excited for this one. I love my salicylic acids. I love my chemical exfoliants, and hopefully this kind of just like works into my skincare routine, you know? There's something about Glow Recipe that is just so fun. I realized through the sale and through people asking me for skincare recommendations for the sale, I don't use a ton of skincare at Sephora. Like, there are definitely those one-offs, you know, like moisturizers or toners or what have you, but for the most part my skincare is mainly Asian-based skincare products. If you guys are interested in seeing that in a video, please let me know in the comments down below. Oh, I redeemed this at the store. I got the new Laneige Cream Skin Serapeptide Toner and Moisturizer. I believe that this is the new formulation. I have had the old formulation before, a full bottle of it, and I really liked it, but the reason I didn't repurchase is, again, I'm going through a lot of toners right now, so I didn't want to put another one on the list, but I could justify getting this little baby one because I thought that this would be really nice to try out, as well as just have whenever I'm traveling. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some lip stuff. I guess this is kind of a restock. This is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in the shade Brown Sugar, or the scent Brown Sugar. I actually own the mini one of this. I got this in the Summer Fridays mini set last year. I'm still using it. It took me a while to even get into this one, but ever since I started using it, I have fallen in love with it. So I went ahead and decided to pick up the full size. And also I got to try out the iced coffee one that's included in the Summer Fridays trio. And honestly, I wasn't that big of a fan of the iced coffee one. It is a really pretty nudie brown shade, but for me, I feel like I would have to use a lip liner or a lipstick underneath it, which kind of defeats the purpose of like an all-in-one lip balm type of deal. So I went ahead and just picked up the Brown Sugar one like I planned, and I also picked up the Sweet Mint scent. I actually put this one on to prep my lips for my makeup today. I love a good sweet mint. I love something that's a little refreshing but still minty. I have recently discovered that a lot of people don't like minty lip products. Is that true? Because I love them. I think that they're so nice and refreshing. It could just be me, but also love this packaging. I love the green on it. These are definitely some of my favorite lip balms. Oh my gosh, guys, guess what I finally bought? My very first Dior lip oil. So I have bought plenty of the dupes, you know, like the drugstore dupes and everything, but I've never owned an actual Dior lip oil, and I was like, why don't I own one so I can finally compare it formula wise and texture and color and all that stuff, you know? So I picked one up, and it was the last one in the shade. I got number 20 Mahogany. Oh my goodness, I love this. There was also rosewood. I was between the two, but my choice was made for me because they didn't have rosewood. So I was like, mahogany it is. And it's what I have on my lips today, lined with a lip liner that I purchased from Sephora as well. But I love this shade. I love this texture. I know that I've tried the dupes and everything, but honestly, there's something about this that makes it a little bit different from the dupes, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it, you know? I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to figure this out because this formula, it kind of got me. I'm not sure what's going on, but I like it. $40 though, absolutely insane. That's a lot. That's a lot. Another lipstick, this formulation is not new to me, but this color is, and I've been eyeing this one for a long time as well. It's the Merit Signature Lips in the shade La Avenue. I have been thinking about this one for a long time, and I finally decided I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. It's this really beautiful berry red tone. Like, actually no, let me take that back. It's more of a sangria type of shade, but I tried this on the other day and I don't know if I like it that much. I'm gonna have to try it with other lip combos and stuff, maybe a lip gloss. I almost feel like this shade kind of emphasized my lip lines, which is funny because I don't find that that's the case with most of the other ones in this line. It could definitely be because my lips were really dry the day that I tried it, so I'm gonna have to try it again. I love the Merit Signature Lips. They're a really good staple when it comes to traditional bullet lipstick. We cannot deny that this is one of the most beautiful packagings for a lipstick. Am I right? Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. I love how it's this ember type of color. I love how sleek it is and how you can like still see through it. And then you have their logo right there. This is absolutely beautiful. It feels so luxe, and it is quite an expensive lipstick, but I almost feel like it looks more expensive than it is. This is the Freck Makeout Club Soft Blur Lipstick in the shade Shy Hottie. I feel like not a lot of people have talked about these, and this is going to be my second one. And I like this formulation a lot. It really does give you that blurred lip look. I like this shade because I almost feel like this looks pretty much like my lip color, but it makes my lips look soft, and it also makes the color even. It feels extremely lightweight on the lips. It doesn't even feel like you have anything on it. It is matte, so it almost looks like it would be drying, but it doesn't feel drying at all. This is such a comfortable formula, and it's very unique from other bullet lipsticks that I've tried. The only other blur lipstick that I can think of would be the Saie lip blurs, but those look more hydrating right off the bat, whereas this one literally just looks like a matte blur right when you apply it to the lips. It's such an interesting formulation. If you like that blurred lip finish, then I would recommend checking these out. I bought two more of the Makeup by Mario lip liners. I got the shades Toasty and Daniel. I have Toasty on right now. I lined my lips with it, and then I have that Dior oil on top of it. You guys already know my love for these lip liners. They are so good. I love that most of them are more like natural tones, you know, and they kind of just flatter your natural lips. At least the ones that I picked up. I really love the undertones on all of them. And something that I think is so incredible about these are the lip brushes. They are just stiff enough to where you have control, but they're also a little fluffy, and they allow you to really blur out that lip liner whenever you need to. Daniel is going to be a little bit more browny pink, which is nice because I think the other shades that I have all lean more towards just brown. So this is kind of a nice change of pace. I really love these, and I'm excited about them. And then one other lip liner that I picked up is the one from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Color Pencil in the shade Wherever Walnut. Now, I was considering picking up the set that they have right now with the minis. They have this Anywhere Caffeine, Limitless Brown, Black and White in there, but I already owned Anywhere Caffeine, and I didn't really need the black or white one, and the only other one that I would get use out of would be Limitless Brown. So I went ahead and just picked this one up. It adds a little bit of brightness to my natural lip color, but it still helps it to define, you know. I don't know if I would use this as an eyeliner. Maybe I should try it and see. But yes, I finally added this one to my collection because I know tons of people really like this color. Next up, I bought a Patrick Ta Silky Lip Cream. So when I bought this was definitely one of the things that was kind of spur of the moment when I was looking around at the store, you know. I wasn't planning on purchasing this. I've always been curious about them, so I picked one up, and this one is in the shade She's Confident. It is a little bit light for me, but I don't hate it because I feel like I could use this to really brighten up the center of my lips with other lip colors. I think that this one has a lot of versatility to it. I tried it out one other time and it was really pretty. I used it on the center of the lips and I really liked it. We will see though, because I almost feel like if you're not careful with this formulation, it can kind of emphasize your lip lines. And you guys know I hate when lip products do that. That is my biggest pet peeve. I'm going to play around with different lip combinations, but other than that, I think that the color is really pretty and I like the formulation. Like, I like that it is this really opaque, creamy lip color. It's kind of like a melted down, moussey lip color. So far so good, but I'm not obsessed in love with it just yet. My last lip product that I picked up is the Refy Lip Buff, and this one I thought was actually going to be like a standard lip exfoliant, but actually when I read the instructions on it, it said to use this before makeup as your makeup prep. So I thought that was interesting. This is something that has been in my cart or my wish list for a couple months now, but I wanted to wait until the sale to pick it up. It is a little pricey for the amount that you get. I did try this out for the first time the other night whenever it came in, and it's really good. I will say that the bristles on this are very stiff. They're kind of aggressive, so you have to be careful. Don't push too hard and be too aggressive with your lips with this. You really don't have to be for it to be effective. You squeeze it and then a gel comes out and you use that to buff your lips. And I thought that it was really nice because it wasn't sticky and it didn't get all over the place, you know? And whenever you were done exfoliating your lips, you're supposed to just let that lip serum sink in. So I thought that was really nice. You don't really have a messy cleanup. Also, in between the bristles, I did see a little bit of like exfoliated lip. So I thought that was really satisfying, to be honest. I think the next time I use it, I'm gonna try it as makeup prep before I do my makeup. Hopefully by that time my lips are like really crusty so we can see if it makes a big difference. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some concealers. I know it's kind of ridiculous that I picked up more concealers, but I think that whenever all those concealers came out, like in August or September or whenever it was, it just like triggered something in me to want to use concealers and buy concealers. I have no excuse, but I bought 3 concealers, but 2 of them are the same product, just different colors. You guys know I love my Kosas Revealer Concealer. This is my holy grail concealer. I always go back to it no matter what. And I bought my usual shade, which is number 6, but I also picked up 6.2, which is medium tan with neutral peach undertones, while 6 is medium tan with olive undertones. And that was always the one I picked up. I guess this is a newer shade since the last time I bought this concealer. I wanted to try it because I have 6.5 and that one's a little too dark, so I thought, oh, maybe 6.2 will be good because 6 does match, but it is a little bit more brightening on my skin tone, and I wanted something that I could use just to spot conceal. So these are the 2 shades. This is 6.2 and this is 6, and you can see a clear difference in the undertone as well as just like the brightness of the shades. I actually used 6.2 all over my face to spot conceal, and then I used 6 under my eyes to brighten as well. And I think that 6.2 is a perfect match for me, and I'm really excited about that because I don't have to use anything to match it to my skin. It just matches and it looks good. I will say that these concealers do tend to oxidize when you apply it to the skin, but when you buff it out, it kind of turns back into its true color. Whenever I blended it out, it matched perfectly. So I was really excited about that. And the other other concealer that I picked up, I only bought the mini because I was trying to be good, okay? I got the Hourglass concealer. This is the Airbrush concealer in the shade Dune. Now, I'm not quite sure if Dune is my perfect match. I was considering going into store and swatching some of them and just picking up the mini that match, but I think Dune worked well. I did spot conceal my whole face with this, and I used this in place of a foundation as well. And I definitely got it to the point where I was able to work with it, but I do think that it's just a touch too warm for me. My other option is, I think, the shade Beach, but that one I think might be a little too bright. I'm gonna try this out with an actual foundation as well to see how it does, and then I'm gonna try it to spot conceal again and see how I feel about it. And it also didn't emphasize any of the lines, like the fine lines that I have on my face. It covered up my acne scarring really nicely. Yeah, I think that this one is going to be a hit, honestly. So I only bought one brow product and I really like it, but I'm really upset that I do. It is from Kosas as well. It's the Brow Pop Nano Ultra Fine Detailing Pencil in the shade Brown Black, and this thing is the size of a needle. It is so small. Like, have you guys ever used the Revlon micro eyeliner? It's that big. It's very tiny and I really like it, but I feel like I'm gonna go through it so fast. I don't know what I expected, but it is teeny tiny, which is absolute perfection when you're thinking in terms of just making details and gaps, like filling in gaps. I have a lot of brow, and I have pretty thick brows, I like to think, but I do have a lot of gaps in them. And this fits right in between my eyebrow hairs. Like, it doesn't draw on top of them. It literally is so small that it fits between my brow hairs. And I'm able to get really, really detailed, and it's nice and pigmented. It's nice and creamy, so you're not sitting there scratching your skin trying to get pigmentation out of this. I feel like I'm gonna go through this so fast, but this I feel like gives me such a clean brow look. I really enjoy the way that my brows have been looking whenever I use this. I am not great with brows, but I feel like this makes it so like streamlined, so simple. Okay, now let's talk about complexion products. So I did finally pick up the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch Pressed Brightening and Setting Powder. I do already have the loose powder. I love it. It's one of my go-to powders, and I got this one in the shade Banana Bread, which is also the shade that I have the loose powder in. I've been waiting for this sale in particular to pick it up. Something I don't like about Huda Beauty products is that the packaging is always so bulky, and it's also really sharp. Like, they always have squares and rectangles and stuff that are just really pointy. This is what the powder, oh, it does open. Oh, there's a little sponge in there. Wow, I didn't know that. I feel like I should have looked that up. I need to use this next time. Okay, I just used a brush with this. It's a nice faint yellow, which is perfect because I don't like when yellow powders are too yellow and too warm. This is pretty much exactly like the loose powder in terms of shade. I will say that this is pressed really hard though, so you kind of had to really work in there to get any powder out. I feel like there are some benefits to that though, like it'll give you minimal product so you don't overdo it and look really dry and patchy. I feel like my skin looks nice and blurred even though I use like a minimal amount of this powder. I feel like maybe it emphasizes the texture under my eyes just a little bit, but I'm gonna keep using this and see what I think about it in conjunction with even more foundations and complexion products and stuff. But I have high hopes for this because Huda Beauty does her complexion products so well. Another product that I've been thinking about purchasing for a really long time and I finally did, it's the Benefit Hoola in the shade Caramel. I have the original Hoola, which is really good, but this caramel one, it has blown me away. I have it on today. This is just the most buttery, smooth bronzer. I feel like I have been fighting with bronzers for over a year, over 2 years now. If they are powder, they always look patchy on me. They might give me like a weird muddy cast, but this looks so smooth on the face. It's buttery, it's pigmented, it's easy to blend. I go in with such a small amount because I know that the Hoola product from Benefit is really pigmented, so you have to be really careful. Just go in with a little bit and like build it up. But this color is absolute perfection if you are my skin tone or even a little bit more tan. I feel like it just gives you a really beautiful sun-kissed look without looking muddy, like I said. And it truly is like something that warms up the skin. I wouldn't use this as a contour or anything. It is a true bronzing shade. It has a little touch of red, a little touch of olive in there, but it is perfection. I feel like this is going to quickly become one of my favorite bronzers. I did end up buying the Rare Beauty blush set. This is the Blush and Glow 4-piece mini set, and I was really thinking about this because I was like, oh well, I already have the shade Virtue. Currently it's my favorite liquid blush from Rare Beauty, and I thought it's not worth getting. I already have that, but they do have 2 limited edition shades in here, and they also have the shade Wisdom, which I don't think that I have that blush, but now I do. And whenever I was talking about it in my set recommendation video, I was talking about how you could mix the blushes with the highlights and stuff and you get a completely different look, or alternatively you can even mix the 2 blushes. Like, there are so many possibilities with this, and I thought I want it because of those limited shades. And I know they will most likely bring those limited shades back and make them permanent, or at least release them again. There's something so satisfying about these mini blushes and these mini highlights because I feel like I will actually have a chance of going through them, because the regular size ones, no chance of me going through it. And also it was the last one at my store, so I was kind of like, ooh, I want it because it's the last one. That's so bad. I picked up the Saie Dew blush in the shade Spicy. This blush like became the tomato girl aesthetic, but I decided to go ahead and pick it up because I think it's going to be perfect for the colder months. I think it's going to give me that perfect like bitten cheek. No, that's wrong. It'll just make me look cold, I think. I don't know. But also just this shade is a really beautiful spicy terracotta shade, and I think that this is going to be really lovely. And I was also thinking maybe this would look nice on the eyes as well. I also bought the Kulfi Mendhi Moment blush. This is the shade Blessed Berry, and I actually messed up and I put 2 in my cart, so I'm going to have to return the one that I did not open, but I did open this one, and this is so beautiful, and I can't wait to put this on my cheeks. This is such an interesting berry shade because whenever you swatch it, it looks like it almost has a deeper metallic purple in it, so I feel like it'll give a lot of dimension to the face. It's this nice, almost pasty, like cream texture. Because it's so seemingly pigmented, this I feel like is a good size. It is kind of pricey though, but so far everything that I've purchased from Kulfi I've been a huge fan of, so I have high hopes for this one. My second product from Ciele, is it Ciele or I heard someone else say it a different way, and I don't know if I'm saying it incorrectly. I hope I'm saying it correctly. This is their SPF 50 blush. It's the Blush and Protect. I'm a big fan of the tint and Protect. That skin tint is lovely, but I got this in the shade Kirsty, and oh my goodness, I have it on my cheeks today. It is the most perfect dusty rose shade, and the way that this applied and blended in was so seamless. I did 3 dots on either side of my cheeks, and then I blended it in with a brush, and it just completely diffused onto the skin, but I didn't lose too much pigment. I did lose a little bit, I will say, but it didn't seem to move any of my concealer underneath, any of the powder, because I did try it out on top of my powder as well. And holy moly, this is absolutely gorgeous. It gives you that super natural flush on the cheeks. They have been really impressing me so far with their formulations. They're just so skin-like and they blend in seamlessly to the skin. And of course, you have that SPF 50 and a blush. And I feel like that is absolute perfection for me because I do have a lot of sunspots and acne scarring on the tops of my cheeks where I usually put blush. So now I get that extra protection on top of my sunscreen. My last blush is the Patrick Ta, what is this? These are so hard to read. Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's Blushing. I swatched all of the different duos that they had in store, and this one was the one that really stood out to me. I felt like it was the one that I would get the most use out of. I actually have another shade. I can't quite remember what it's called, but it's definitely the Peachy Coral shade. And that one is nice, but honestly, I've barely touched it since I got it, and I'm pretty sure I purchased it during one of the other Sephora sales. But this one, I already know I'm going to get tons of use out of. I put this on my cheeks and I was like absolutely floored by this shade. It brings so much light to the face. It almost seemed to like lift up my cheekbones, and it was so flattering. It gave me the perfect flush. The cream seems to be a little bit darker than the powder, but once you actually mix the two together on the cheeks, it gives you so much dimension and so much lift on the cheeks. But you also have the option of using one or the other, so it's nice because you basically can use it 3 ways. When I put this on, I didn't want to stop putting the blush on. It was that gorgeous to me. I was absolutely loving the way it made my face look, and throughout the day when I had that face of makeup on, it just stayed put. I think the combination of the cream and the powder together gives it a lot longer of a wear time. If it's not sold out already, I highly recommend that you purchase this, or if there's a different shade from the line, maybe check it out, because the formulation itself is just so beautiful, nice and airbrushed, and it doesn't look greasy, it doesn't look patchy. It truly is one of the standout products, I think, from Patrick Ta. And speaking of Patrick Ta standout products, I did buy the Major Dimensions 3 palette. Now, I was not planning on buying, actually, no, that's a lie. I told myself I was only going to purchase one eyeshadow palette, if any, and I was between this one and the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette, but honestly, this one really spoke to me when I saw it at the store because it just seems so simple. I'm not huge on big eyeshadow palettes anymore. I rarely touch them. I love looking at them, but it is very rare for me to actually go in and really utilize a giant palette, you know? So whenever I saw this, I was like, whoa, those are clean, they're simple. You have a good row of cool tones, but you also have an equal amount of warm tones. When I first saw this online, I was like, oh, I don't think I'll get it because it's just too cool toned, but it really isn't. I have used all of the top except for this darkest one. And then I've used this shade and this shade. I used this as my eyeliner today as well as the other day. And these are so buttery and blendable, and they're super, super pigmented, but not in the way that you can't blend it out. It feels almost, I want to say creamy whenever you put it on the eyelids, and they're so easy to blend. I do have the Major Dimensions 1 palette. I purchased that one before my wedding when I was thinking that I would do my own makeup. I didn't end up doing my own makeup, but I still have that palette and I think it's so beautiful, but I really don't utilize a lot of the shimmers on my day-to-day life. But this, because it's completely matte, I was like, I can justify getting this because I feel like I will use these shades up. And plus you have these cream colors right here, so even more of a reason to use this palette. You can use this as a base, as eyeliner. And I really love my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, so I knew that I would utilize these a ton, even if it is just as bases for like a shimmer, like a single shimmer somewhere else, you know. This is gorgeous. I've only used this twice and already I am completely in love with this. I'm so happy that I picked this up. The formulation is truly just so incredible. I would say that these are even more buttery than the Makeup by Mario ones, at least for me. They're both extremely blendable, but there's something about this that feels like really luxe and creamy and buttery on the lids. I just truly like this so much. A single eyeshadow. The Kulfi Zari Eyes in the shade Auburn Aura. I knew I was going to be picking this one up because this is also one of the things that I've had on my list for a while. I was just waiting on a sale. You guys already know my love for the Zari eyeshadows from Kulfi. I'm so excited to dig into this. It's definitely that berry tone, reddish tone type of color. So metallic and beautiful. And this I think is going to be so beautiful during again, the holiday months, but also I think that this would be really fun to use as like an eyeliner. They also threw this into my delivery order from the store. This is the Amika Soul Food Nourishing Mask. I love this. I actually have the full size of this in my bathroom. I purchased it last sale. It smells gorgeous. It feels so good in the hair, makes it nice and slick, and it's super moisturizing. It's kind of like a pudding texture. I highly recommend this to everyone. And I really like that I have this little travel size now too. And lastly, I did buy one fragrance, which is super surprising because, again, you guys know I'm not a huge fragrance person, but this one I actually bought the sample kit thing with a couple of different other fragrances from them. It's the Dead Cool spray, the Travel Spray Milk, and I really love this one because it's layerable. It's very toned down, kind of skin-like scent, you know, but it still has a little bit of a sweet, clean scent to it, but it layers so beautifully with my already existing fragrances. It layers really nice with the Glossier U, and it also layers really nicely with the Louis Mason Louis. I can't remember what it is. I'll pop it up here so you can see it. I bought the fragrance sampler a couple months ago that has the certificate to buy the full size, and I keep forgetting to bring that certificate to Sephora to redeem my full size, but I'm definitely buying that fragrance whenever I have it with me. And layering that one with this, oh my gosh, it is a match made in heaven. It's beautiful. That one brings a little bit of brightness, a little bit of floral tones without being overpowering. And then this brings the more deep, more warm tones to it. It says here for the description, it's bergamot, white musk, and amber. It's genderless, and it feels a little bit like a fragrance oil. I sprayed this on myself earlier and it felt a little bit like oily. The little sample set didn't feel like that, but it still smells exactly the same. I think that this one might be my new go-to because Glossier is playing around with their U fragrance formulation, and I don't know, it can't be trusted right now. So bought this one. I don't wear fragrance when I'm home, so this will probably last me for a really long time. All right, guys, that's everything I picked up from the Sephora sale. Let me know what you ended up picking up and what you're most excited for from the sale. I know that I bought a lot of things, but I will say that I was a little bit more picky. Like, I worked on my cart for such a long time before the sale even happened, and I'm so happy with everything that I picked up. Everything is a hit. There's always like one or two products that I end up returning after the sale because I don't like it, you know, but everything that I bought, I'm very, very happy with. And I'm so glad because I feel like I finally am in this groove of just knowing exactly what I like and exactly if a product's gonna work for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.